Welcome, Helen. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you very much for having me, and I'm delighted to be here. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Right, I'm really excited about the session today because we are going to talk about how to bring your 99-pound thing to the world. But before we get into that, I am all ears. I want to know a bit about you, your story. So go on, Helen, tell us, what is your story?
Okay, so the 99-pound thing is actually a really integral part to my story, which is one of the reasons I chose it for today. So my story, if we're going to go right back, I guess, is when I first started in business, I retrained as a holistic therapist. My husband was a builder. I had 2 small children. I didn't want to go back to school. So that was my first experience of being in business. And I became a specialist very quickly. So I trained as a holistic therapist and specialized in a reflexologist, and then became a reflexologist specializing in fertility and pregnancy treatment. So I learned a lot around being a specialist rather than a generalist, having a niche rather than trying to be everything to everyone. And I grew a really successful reflexology practice quite quickly. And then we went into the recession. So this is like 2008, 2009. And then went to the recession, the building industry collapsed, my husband's building business collapsed with it, taking with it our marriage, and about 90 grand's worth of personal debt for me. So I signed for everything in the marriage like you do. Do you think you're going to be married forever, right? So when I kind of was looking at the wreckage of my life in about 2010, I was a single mum, I had quite severe anxiety and mental health problems. I was about 90 grand in personal debt, about to have my house repossessed. Very luckily managed to have it bought for me from a family member who then rented it back to me, which was really lucky. But generally just looking around at my life thinking, oh, this is like a disaster zone, you know. Wasn't really able to look after myself and the children financially, like my dad was taking me shopping and things like that. And it was only when I looked at LinkedIn, I was looking at my life thinking, well, what do I love, right? So I love doing social media. So this is like the other day, social media. I love doing social media. I was getting all my clients for my business online, for my reflexology business through Facebook and Twitter, and sort of local marketing. And I thought, what can I do that doesn't involve me going out of the house all the time, that doesn't involve me swapping time for money, because I need to make money quick. I need to earn, I thought if I could earn 2.5 grand a month, that would help me pay my debts, it'd help me pay back what I owed, it'd help me pay my rent, it'd help me pay, look after the children and live a great life. So that was my target. I thought, well, how am I going to do that? Well, if I get 10 clients pay me £250 a month, then that's fixed my problem, right? So I looked at LinkedIn, and that's kind of where I got interested in LinkedIn. I looked at LinkedIn and I thought, well, actually, this makes sense. So I can use LinkedIn to generate leads for my business. And I was a really specific way that I started using it, because I had no idea how to use LinkedIn, right? I had no idea. So I wrote my headline, basically that, like helping business owners sell more online using Facebook and Twitter, £250 a month, 10 hours a month, 10 clients, like that was it. That was my actual pitch. And I use LinkedIn in a specific way of searching for people, engaging with them, and then putting out content. And people wanted to work with me. So I hit my target really quickly, created a business, which then went on to grow into various different things, which I won't go into now. But the 99-pound thing came into my life when that business had grown into an agency. I've been generating all these leads to my business from ideal clients, and LinkedIn was generating all this business, and it was great. And I'd meet people and say, how are you getting all these great clients? Like, how does it work? And I'll say, oh, they all come to me on LinkedIn. And they say, no, it doesn't work like that. That's not how LinkedIn works. It's a CV, it's this, it's that, the other. It's just full of spammers. And I was like, oh, it's great. Like, it's how it works. And I used to show people. And then when I was sick of the agency and I've been showing people on how to get leads on LinkedIn, and literally I'd do it in like 20 minutes, I thought, maybe I could teach this to other business owners and other like entrepreneurs like me who want to get leads and see if it works for everybody, because it's working for people like me. So I went onto Facebook. I was in a few Facebook groups then. It was in Dan Meredith's group, Coffee with Dan, but and he did this thing where you could swap services on one specific day. So I put it out there. I was like, I'll show you how to get leads from LinkedIn. £99, normally £99 for a 1-hour session, but I'll do 3 for free in return for testimonials. And I got inundated with requests, and I think I maybe had like 20-30 requests, and the first 3 people I did for free, and the rest I was like, oh, it's £99 a session. They were like, yeah, of course. Like, where do I send the PayPal money to? And I was like, oh, great. Like I made £1,000 and I've not even done anything. I was thinking, oh, this is good. This is great. And then I went and delivered these sessions to people and just got this incredible feedback. And I was it was such a game changer for me, because I was then able to make great money working around my existing business, pivoting into this new thing, teaching this thing. People got to know who I was. People got to talk about me. I was getting all this social proof, and it just kind of really springboarded me into that space. So most people now know me for helping people get leads from LinkedIn, right? So now I'm a business coach. So I don't like to say that word, but business mentor, but I run these programs. So that £99 thing then grew into the LinkedIn Mastermind, which we've sold, I think the last count, 3 million pounds worth of LinkedIn Mastermind. I know, which is unbelievable. You think how I started out. Over the last few years, we've run hundreds and hundreds of free events, training sessions, 5-day challenges. We've had tens of thousands of people go through those programs, helped all these people for free, like 10 years ago, me, right? Because I had no money. And a percentage of people bought the LinkedIn Mastermind. So we, 2020, we sold £1 million worth of it in 1 year, which was incredible. A lot of people were at home, right? And they started to do it. So it was a benefit for us. And then created the business mastermind, which showed people how I'd done that, how I'd gone from selling a £99 thing right up to running these sort of £1 million programs. And that set off last year, and is up and running. It's just fantastic. People are just loving it in there. It's like a mentoring program. And now I invest in other businesses. So I've got 8 other limited companies that I'm a mentor to and an investor in. And just, basically I'm about to open an academy for people who want to do what I did 10 years ago and make £2,500 a month. So that is kind of the story of me professionally, I guess. And along the way, I've got 2 beautiful children, met the love of my life last year, got christened on Sunday. So it's like lots going on for me. That's where I'm at right now, though.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. What an inspiring story. What an inspiring story. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm getting all goosebumps listening to this story.
I never get bored of listening to my own story, right? It's like an out-of-body experience. I'm like, is that really all happening to me?
Yeah, it is so beautiful. There's no reason why you would get bored listening to your story. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. And your story leads us so beautifully into the 99 thing that we want to talk about today. So tell us more about it, Helen.
Well, the reason why I love the £99 thing as a concept is because, because it's part of my story. And I think that's really important. I think some people meet me and they're like, yeah, she's great, whatever, down to earth. Not everyone thinks that, by the way. A lot of people don't like me, but let's say the people that do like me think, yeah, she's great. She's really direct, down to earth, but, she seems to want us to win. But some people, if they just meet me now as the multi-million pound business owner or whatever, sort of don't know me from 10 years ago me, whereas I'm always so connected to 10 years ago me. I'm always helping people who are in that position where you're completely overwhelmed, you don't know where to start, your whole life's falling apart, you just want to get started and do something. And the online space generally is overwhelming. It's full of complete psychopaths, right, who tell you they can do something and they can't, and they take lots of money from people and then don't deliver anything. I mean, it's horrendous, right? And I just feel like if people can really get their head around this concept of the £99 thing, which should have a better name, but anyway, it is what it is. I think it's such a game changer for so many people. So now having mentored thousands of people, right, to start, grow, scale their businesses, the £99 thing is such a game changer for people. The reason why I love it so much is because it lets people realize that they are enough. Exactly as they are, exactly with the skills, the expertise, the experience, the personality, the mindset, everything they've got, leading them up to where they are now. They've got enough. Everybody has a £99 thing in them. There's enough in them as a human being for somebody to invest £99 to sit with them for an hour and basically get the answer to their problem. And then all you need to do is know, I'm really good at fixing this problem, and your thing will be different to everyone else's thing. And then all it happens is you just need to position yourself to get in front of many, many people as possible. So the concept is, it's only an hour, it's done over Zoom, it's recorded. That's quite important because it's something that the person can keep and you don't need to take notes and things like that. And there's no prep and there's no follow-up. And that's really important for you as in person who's thinking about doing it, because otherwise it bleeds into over delivery, it bleeds into doing too much in the beginning over-promising rather than being really strict with your boundaries, which is a really good, strong business lesson to learn, right? It's an hour, no prep, no follow-up, paid in advance, £99 paid by PayPal in advance, then we book it in, then we deliver the £99 session. And it gives you cash in the bank. So when I was doing it, I was doing like 3 to 5 a week in the evenings when the kids were in bed. That's £300 to £500 a week in the evenings when the kids are in bed. That's what I mean. That's what I'm so passionate about. Because I'm like, I might inhabit the online entrepreneur space, but I am still always that, oh my goodness, people are earning £300 to £500 a week in the evenings around their kids, working 3 to 5 hours person, right? I'm always that person. I'm always like, 2 to 3 grand a month is great money. All right, we do 100 grand a month, but which is great because we've got this big mission, we've got this big impact, but fundamentally, 2 to 3 grand a month for everybody, including me, is great money, right? You can live on it, basically. It's livable money. And for a lot of people, it's game-changing money. I don't have to go back to work money. It's my husband's going to stop telling me to go and get a proper job money. Like it's proper money. But the fact that you can do it at your own time, you get to set your own diaries, and there's none of this delivery that you get with a lot of client work, right? So it's just this one conceptual thing, which is great. So it's good for cash, but it's really good for confidence. So one of the things that I say is it's great to have a big transformational program, and it's great to be a coach and charge thousands of pounds, and it's great for all this kind of, but it actually fundamentally, again, let's get in the real world. Somebody sees a Facebook post or an Instagram post or a post on LinkedIn, or they fall over you in some way. It's a big jump for them to give you £2,000 or £5,000 or £10,000, right? And we know that. That's why we have funnels and nurturing and all this blah blah blah. We have all that stuff, and that's fine. Like I can teach all that all day long, but fundamentally it's a jump, and I think once we get our heads around that, that's better. So the £99 thing, even if your main thing is 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand, 100 grand, right, allows people to try before they buy, but pay before they buy. So it stops you ever having to do a discovery call again, ever dealing with tourist information of people. Hiya. You can't have £3. Sorry. I'll tell you why, because I've found this before. Oh no, you can have £1.10. The rest in my bed setting. Teenagers. You can get people to just not become, always become tourist information, right? Or you do the most awful thing, having a discovery call, which everyone knows is a sales call, but yeah, you get on a call with somebody, and then you, especially if you're not told them your price, I mean, it's just gross, right? The whole thing is just ridiculous. So one thing I'd like to put in the bin from the coaching industry, but anyway, but you never have to do that again. Because people, if they want to work with you, they want to talk to you, they want to see if you are who you say you are, and you can do what you say you can do. They'll pay you £100 for you to fix one tiny problem. They know that to work with you on a bigger scale is going to cost a lot more money, and there's a lot more stuff and a lot more work to do. But you'll know the one thing you always get asked about, the one thing you'll do sort of almost for free for people, your kind of party trick, if you like, the one thing you know you can get results with, that becomes your £99 thing. And if you go and do £199 things, trust me, not only you have money in the bank, loads of confidence, you'll understand your ideal client better than you ever would by doing ICA work outside of it. You'll have loads of social proof, loads of referral partners, loads of people will know what you do. And it's just, I just can't get too excited about this stuff, right? I'm more overexcited because it's just such a great thing for people to have in their kind of toolbox of things to offer people. Because if someone hasn't got £99 to invest in you, they're not your ideal client anyway. But if someone hasn't got £99 to invest in you, doesn't mean if somebody has, but they don't want to invest the big money yet. It's a really good way for you to build trust. And over 100, I'd say for most people, if you've got a reasonable upsell off it, which you don't do on the call, but obviously in that world, people ask you, like, this is great, how do we work together? And then you can talk about your other thing. But you've already built that rapport, and it's just so much slicker and quicker doing it that way than the long game of like audience build, which should be happening anyway, but it works really well. Also really good if you're into audience growth work, which obviously you should be, and doing things like guest expert in other people's groups. It's a great hook for people to get to know you, especially if you're brand new to them. You do your session on whatever your thing is, and then your call to action is to book a £99 call with you. So it's a funny one. I know some people look down on it and they're like, yeah, but I charge £500 an hour. Fine, charge £500 an hour, but you never know how many people won't get on that call with you because they don't want to invest that money yet. So I love it as a concept. I teach it to hundreds of people. Thousands of people. I've never met somebody I can't help create an £99 thing for.
Wonderful. You have actually preempted one of my questions, wherein I was about to ask you, what if somebody charges 500 quids an hour or 1,000 quids an hour? Does launching or putting out a 99 pound hour thing mean that they are boxing themselves into a lower price range?
No, they're not, because I mean, my programs are anything from 2 grand up to 10 grand up to 20 grand actually for my small group stuff. But like, I don't personally do a 99 pound thing hour now. But when I was bringing something new out, I was pivoting into a new area, or I wasn't getting the leads that I wanted. It's just an incredible way to bring something new out or to talk, wasn't it? It's just such a great price point. Lots of people, if you're already charging 500 quid an hour, then fine, do it for 500 quid an hour. I mean, that's what I used to charge as well, 500 quid an hour, right? But most people that I help with the 99 pound thing are either struggling to fill the programs or struggling to sell their 500 pound an hour thing. So as long as you position it as a different thing to your main thing, yeah. So when we work together and it's 500 quid an hour, this is all the things that I do. But when we do this one-off session, it's a 99 pound thing because I'm just going to fix this one tiny problem with you, or work on this one tiny thing, and you're going to have that one problem, but with the more complex stuff, obviously. It's about, I mean, swapping time for hours is never like the best strategy in a lot of ways, but actually it's a fair exchange of time and money for the majority of people that I meet.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So how does somebody go about designing their 99 pound thing?
So I would normally, it's easy if you are in the online space and you're a coach or a consultant and you've already got a big program, it's really easy. You take one tiny bit of it, or you give a really top level overview. So that's how I would say you either go really deep into one bit. So for example, for my business mastermind, 10 grand, 5 grand when you join it, but 5 grand when you make it back, right? But one of the key fundamental things of the business mastermind is understanding your ideal client, right? So I could do an ICA session for 99 pounds to just really go deep with somebody on that one thing, and then blow their mind and like, oh my God, this is amazing. How do I sign up for the whole thing, right? Or like for the LinkedIn mastermind, so that is my 2 grand program, it's 1,500 quid and then a grand when you make it back, so it's 2.5 grand. I'll show you how to get leads, how to start getting leads from LinkedIn in an hour. And then I would give them an overview, right? You have to understand your ideal client, you have to do this. These are the 3 things you need to do on LinkedIn every day. You know, these are the types of content you should post on LinkedIn. So an overview that's not going to give them all of the answers, but it's going to give them a really good conceptual overview of like, right, I've invested my money to learn the basics. Now I'll invest to learn the depth. So you can either go very deep on one tiny element that you teach anyway, or very top level on something that's a bigger part of the picture. So hopefully that will resonate with most people. If not, if you're like, that makes no sense, what is the one thing that you've already done that other people want to do? So sometimes people want to say, oh, I haven't got a 99 pound thing. I was like, and they'd be like, okay, well, what did you do before you were whatever? Oh, I was a teacher. Okay, cool. So could you help people who are coming out of teacher training who want to go get teacher jobs? Like, oh, not really thought of that. Well, you could do that because you've done the thing that they want to do, right? Or my mate who lays patios, he's like, well, how could I do a 99 pound thing for that? I was going, well, what you're forgetting, Phil, is that you're a sponsored match carp fisherman, yeah, in your spare time. So you could have a 99 pound thing, showing people, talking people through, I don't know, prepping for your next carp competition or whatever. Like whatever you could use. So it could be something that you're really passionate about and you just do it for fun. You just love it so much, you would do it for fun, but you can easily make extra money teaching people. So I could teach how to get started in the online space, right? Or you could teach how to create a masterclass if you've done loads of masterclasses before, or how, so something that you've already done you could teach, or just life experience. So like I had one guy who was like, I can't have a 99 pound thing, and he used to be in the church, so he used to be a minister in the church, and he came out of that and he did something else. And I was like, do you know how many people would love to speak to a minister for an hour, like and sort of like confess their sins and have some and people, whatever you've done and whatever you've achieved, there'll be somebody somewhere who wants to do the same. And even if it's something around that you've had children, you could teach something about that. You could, there's just so many things. My mind obviously goes up, but I've had children that have come out of mainstream school because of their mental health, so I could help somebody with that, just to the practical side of things. There's another girl that I met through doing the Sun magazine, through the Fabulous magazine, and she was like, I cannot think what I could do. I had to give up my job to look after my elderly parents, right? And I was like, so what was the process like of looking after your parents? Well, it's really stressful because of this, this, and this. And I was like, well, what about all the people and her parents had sadly passed away? I said, well, what about the people who were where you were 3 years ago, who were like, I don't even know where to start with this. I don't know how to get carers in. I don't know what equipment I need. I don't know what's there, and people just want somebody to hold space for them, to listen to them and talk to them and get to the solution quicker. So when I wanted to set up a property business with my partner, I was like, I don't know anything about property. Trust me, I'm in the middle of buying a house at the moment and it's like the most stressful thing. But anyway, I don't know about property. I can see there's a lot of property courses out there and there's a lot of property companies and some that I would never want to be involved in, and some of it's very expensive and all that the stuff I want to avoid, basically. I'm like, I don't want to do any of that. I don't want a course on how to start a property business, but I do want some advice. So I approached 2 people that I know in the online space who I know have multiple properties and have that as a part of their business. And I said to them, can we have an hour with you on Zoom for £99 just to talk us through it? And it was the most useful couple of hours we could have ever spent because we got the answers that we wanted our specific situation. So that might not have been the core business, but they could teach it. So whatever you've done and whatever you know, you can create a £99 thing for it.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, that gives so many variety to choose from. I mean, there's possibly nothing that wouldn't have a £99 thing.
I've never met anyone I can't, because everyone's done things. Like you said, you've got some people in here who have corporate jobs. Yeah. Like how many people want to get into great jobs? So whatever your job is, you could coach people on how to apply for jobs in your industry, because you're on the inside, right? You know it inside out. So there's always people, and there's always people willing to invest in getting the inside track on something, getting some direct advice, getting helped over a certain block or a situation. And it's just, and then you got all your spiritual stuff on top. If you love tarot reading or this or that or whatever, like do that. Whether you love hula hooping, whatever it is, there's just so much. Honestly, there's just so many ways you could create an £99 thing in the world. I feel like everybody should have one, because then whenever you need some money, you just go and promote it and do it. And then you don't have to commit to doing it forever, because it's so simple. You just go, I used to just say, I've got 5 spaces for next week, who wants one? And I'd book those 5, and then I'd be like, I've got 3 spaces, I've got 2 spaces, and the next week I'm like, I've got 5 spaces, 4 spaces, 3 spaces. And that was it for my marketing, really. And and I just was doing, I was making £2,000 a month on top. And this is what I mean, like, if I really wanted to make some more money on top of what I'm making anyway, I just put a £99 thing out. I mean, I would get inundated now, but I could, if I wanted to make £1,000 tomorrow, I'd be like, right, £99 strategy session on, launching your business, or doing a 5-day challenge, or like I could do anything, right? And I'd make £1,000 tomorrow. I mean, it's a bit easier for me because I've got the audience, but nearly everyone I know who's got £99 thing says the more I promote it, the more I sell it, right? So you can promote it in other people's groups and stuff like that, where there's a promo thread. I mean, we run them all the time, promo threads, and there's always somebody somewhere who wants what you're selling, right? So you have got to promote it a lot, but it's almost like having a cash machine, right? I need to go make £1,000, I need to just go to sell 10. And like Rochelle Dallas, who's a great friend of mine, business partner right now, but she thinks in £99 things. So she's like, oh, I need a new laptop. It's like eight £99 things. So that's how she thinks. Oh, I want to go first class on the train instead of normal, so that's 3 £99 things that I need to sell to pay for that. And it's just, I started the £99 thing, so I wanted to make £2,000 to sort my patio out that my husband had left in disarray. And since doing that, I wanted to earn extra money on the side. It then turned into my main business, which then sold millions of pounds of products. I've redone the whole house. I'm about to buy a £1 million house down the road. So you just never know where your £99 thing can lead you. And bear in mind, I was promoting my £99 thing like 4 years ago. It comes up on my Facebook memories. It makes me smile because I just had no idea what it was going to lead to.
Yeah. Wonderful. Would you say that the £99 thing must be aligned to the specialization or the niche somebody's operating in?
It doesn't have to be. There's nothing, there's no has to be anything in business, right? It doesn't have to be. It can be something you just want to do for fun. On top of you're so passionate about it. Maybe you're into something really random, like, I don't know, like Syrian hamster breeding or something, and you want to help people in that niche and talk about that. Like, I don't know, I would almost always have one for fun and one for finance, right? So yes, it is better from a business strategic point of view to have it closely aligned with your niche. Yes, of course. And it's just such a great way of getting more people into your programs, getting more people to know who you are, getting more social proof. I mean, at the end of every £99 session, I would say, they'd be, oh my God, it's amazing, thanks so much. I'm like, oh, well, why are you feeling so good? If you could give me a shout out to someone on social media, I would really help. I would really appreciate it. I'm going to screenshot it and use it because I want to get more people just like you to do these sessions. Is that okay? And they'd be like, yeah, fine. And then they drop the call and they go straight to Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or whatever and be like, just had a session with tag Helen Pritchard, show me how to get leads from LinkedIn. It was fantastic, can't recommend it highly enough. Screenshot it, I share it on my social media. I'm like, I've just done this session with Emma Brown, she's incredible at what she does, everyone go and check her out. If anyone else wants a one-to-one £99 session with me, send me a message on here and then it'll start again. So it's a very simple marketing strategy. I run multiple businesses with multiple complex marketing strategies that are all interlinked, and we know them all, and we know we're all about the audience growth and engagement and conversion, of course, because that's how we run a business of this scale. But the £99 thing is easy, tech-free. You don't need a team to deliver it. You just can do it all yourself in your own DMs. Sending out the PayPal links is easy. Even I can do this stuff. Sending out the Zoom link is easy. It's done and dusted. Getting the social proof is easy. And then remarketing is easy. So easy, fun, profitable.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it anytime. You don't need a big audience. You don't need a team. You don't need slick systems. Like, otherwise I've never done it.
I love how you said you would have one for fun and the other for finance.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. Yeah, one for fun and one for finance. Yeah.
One big thing that I'm taking away from this conversation is that we don't have to overthink our £99 thing.
Well, we've got training on this and an actual like a support group for it, like a Facebook group. And every time people buy the training, they join the support group, and then they just fall apart going into the detail. Two biggest things that we say. Number one is trying to offer too much in the session. They'll say, like, I'll transform your life in an hour. And it's too much, right? Whereas, I'll help you decide, I'll help you write the first section of your CV in an hour more, to me, which will help transform your life. But let's just focus on what we call micro. I've got a webinar on this, actually, a free webinar. It's like micro. Like, make it small, make it tangible, make it almost guaranteed. Yeah, nothing in life is guaranteed, right? Or you can almost guarantee that when they leave the session, they will have moved from A to B. But keep it really small and really specific and really niche. I think what people try and do is create a £99 thing that sort of helps everyone with everything, and then no one buys it because it doesn't really speak to anyone, right? That's the one thing. And then the other thing is people getting obsessed with the Canva. So what I say is just create a Canva image that sort of says, are you XYZ, £99 session, and use that as part of your marketing. Well, we must have people obsessing over their Canva images, like, what about this, too many words, not enough words. So keep it really simple, keep it small, and just get it done and get it out, and just get doing it. And go and do 100 sessions, make some great money. And if you put it out there 100 times, 200 times, and nobody buys it, then maybe tweak it. But most people overthink it massively. This is why the group and the mentor is so useful, because we can just talk people down off that ledge, in their heads of like, I've got to get this perfect. It's not perfect. If you look at my marketing 5-6 years ago, it was far from perfect. It still is, it still is. So just get it done is always better than perfect, and get it out there and test it on the people that matter, the people that buy it, right? And then you can tweak it. You might do 10 and think, I hate this, I hate doing this, I hate these people, I want to do something completely different. So yeah, you can only get good at doing them and marketing them and understanding them by doing them and marketing and understanding them. So yeah, like anyone watching this, you could have a £99 thing out by 4 o'clock and get it out there and put it out there to the world.
Yeah. And if we can't do it in an hour or 90 minutes, then we are definitely overthinking it.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of know deep down what it is. Sometimes you've got to be brave and put it out there, though, and get out your own way. The quicker you do it, the easier it is. Rip the plaster off. Yeah. And some people come to me and say, oh, Helen, I've got a £99 thing, but no one wants it. And I'm like, how many times have you promoted it? I'm like, oh, I posted it like 10 times. I'm like, what, last an hour or a week? Or, Like, oh, I did it about 10 times on that when I watched your webinar and nobody bought it. And I'm like, no, you got to be doing it 100 times, like over and over and over and over again until you become so desensitized to putting it out there. And then somebody will buy it. And once you get your first couple and you do your 3 for free, of course, then you're off and running. You're off and running.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can't lose with this. You're not investing a load of time, energy, money into it. You're not launching a new thing. You're just saying, do these sessions. If anyone wants one, let me know. If you know anyone who would benefit from this, like, send them my way. Very casual, it's not a big, just keep it chill and keep the energy light, and it can completely change your life like it did mine.
Yeah. And we must never utilize these calls for upsells. Was that right?
Well, I never sell on the call, no. And that's the beauty of it, right? It's a fair exchange, time for money. And you should never need to sell on the call. I did do a £99 for, and she started pitching halfway through, and I thought that you're getting it wrong. Like, you should give me so much value in this hour that I'm desperately wanting to know what comes next.
Yeah.
They will ask you if they want, but you can also keep them in your email list and email them about all your other stuff as well. But definitely no selling on the call, because the sale's already in the bag, right? But I'd say if you've got a program that naturally follows on, you probably get a 50% conversion rate anyway.
Yeah.
So you get the money and the sale.
Yeah. I see Holly's here, and she has already dropped the link to the support group and training here. So that's wonderful.
That's how slick we are, right? The marketing on it. Thanks, Holly. But yeah, it's a great skill to learn, because as you change and grow, your £99 thing changes and grows with you. So it's a great thing to learn, just to have in your toolbox again and again and again, definitely. This is for Wealthy Wednesday, right? I want people to make more money and have more fun. And
well, you have inspired me to bring out my own £99 thing. I used to have one, but I got caught up in the whole over delivering thing. I promised something big, and then it was impossible to do it in an hour. So I'm going to bring a new £99 thing into the world.
And quite often people, so just on that, actually, the main purpose of at least the first half an hour is to listen, because that's what people want. They want someone to listen to them and to feel heard and to feel seen and to have a safe space to talk. In my experience, you might think, well, that doesn't make sense because you've got to teach them how to get leads on LinkedIn. But actually what they really wanted was that first half an hour to tell me exactly where they were at, how they were feeling, what their frustrations were, what was good, what was bad. And then when I knew that, I could give them really quick, slick advice. But that first half an hour was really important. It's about listening to the person in front of you and making them feel like it's just for them, because it should just be for them, right? Which makes it so valuable. It's not about come for an hour and I'll just give you the same presentation I give everyone else, right? It's come for an hour and I really listen to you, and then I'll really give you some bespoke advice and support for your specific problem.
Yeah, you're so right. It is not so much about the solution to the specific problem, but it all starts with seeing and hearing people.
Yeah, for sure. And I always like, I want to do them again, because I miss doing them. I think I might do some next week. Always laugh. I do a flash 24-hour, like, I don't know, 10-minute for people to book in, just do 10 or something. I just love the depth you can go on those calls and speak to people. Yeah.
Well, you could promote them in the group here. I'm sure there are lots of people who are going to buy the £99 thing.
My team won't let me, though, because they just say, you keep telling us you want to clear your diary, and then you keep filling it with stuff. But it's fun to do. It helps people at a price point that works. And if you times it up, if I do 10, it's £1,000 I wasn't going to earn otherwise. And you might think, well, you're earning all this money anyway, but it's like it's £1,000, £1,000, whichever way you split it, right? So it's just, I really want to get that message out there that £99 for an hour's work is great money for everybody, and people should expect that, definitely. I do get some people going, oh, well, £99 an hour, but I just think sometimes we're a little bit, we come a little bit blinded by the big numbers and the big, in the online space. And I feel like sometimes you've got to step back into the real world and think, there's a lot of people out there not earning a lot of money, but there's a lot of people out there who want to help people and people who want to be helped. So this is a good way of bringing them together, and the fair exchange of money and skills being in the middle. I like it.
Yeah. Holly's saying, I found this exact thing. People just want to soundboard off you and have someone listen to them.
Yeah, they do. It's so powerful. A lot of people would spend £99 literally for someone to just listen to them, because it's so rare in this mad busy world, right? Particularly in the business side of things, because quite often you're shouting into the abyss at home, right? You know, your husband doesn't really get it, and your kids don't care, and you know, your mates don't really understand it, and your mum and dad are wondering when you're going to go back to work and stop prattling around on Zoom or whatever. You know, so it's a nice space for people to actually talk to somebody who gets it and mind anything else.
Yes, I also love the fact that through £99 thing, we can stop doing free discovery calls completely.
Put them in the bin.
Put them in the bin. Yeah, I like that.
Discovery calls are the worst things ever happened to the coaching industry, right? I mean, they're just horrible. Nobody likes doing them. Nobody likes being on them. Nobody likes delivering them. Nobody likes being on the receiving end of them. So I know people say they do, but I don't believe them. Honestly, I've been in this world a long time. Coaches are like, oh, I love doing discovery calls. I love it. It's got to be the right fit and see the energy. And it's not about the sale. It's not. It's because you're not brave enough to put your prices out there and limit people to talk to you for 10 minutes. That's the truth. And that, that's the truth of it, and people say, oh, I've never met anyone who says, I don't want to know the price of something before I get on a call. But yeah, there's so many people out there who say, oh no, I don't give my price out before the call because I want to show the value before the, it's just because I'm too scared to do it. So put your price out publicly, let people talk to you, of course, and get the right fit, but it should only take 10-15 minutes max. It should be, have you got any last minute questions, like what do you think this is for you? You should have overcome all the objections way before they get to that point. And you never know how many people will never buy from you because they don't want to go on a discovery call, right? Like I would never go on a discovery call for anything, and I got plenty of money to invest. I just would never invest in somebody who didn't have their prices out publicly. It's a fact.
Yeah. Would you say that for the full programs as well? I mean, the 5K, 10K, 20K programs as well?
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone knows the business mastermind is 10 grand. 5 grand when you make it. Like I don't need to get people on a call so they can tell me they can't afford it. Or for me, it's just a waste of everyone's time, right? Yeah. I've got people who do it, but we only get people on the call when they know exactly how much the investment is, that they are ready and willing to make the investment. They've just got last minute questions, and the questions are always the same. Is this for me, and is it going to work for me? That's all they want to know. So they can get on a call and speak to somebody who can actually listen to them about their business and say, actually, this would be really good for you. Or, which does happen, you're not quite ready for this. Like, why don't you do this, and this first? So I agree. Applications are great and calls are great. But yeah, the higher the price of the program, the more you need to put the price out there, right?
Yes. Otherwise, we can consistently land up in situations wherein we get people on the call and they just go, can't afford it.
What a horrible situation for everybody. It's awkward for you saying it and then someone recoiling.
Yeah.
In like embarrassment and shame or anger and disgust or whatever. Like you're not gonna have a good reaction to be told this thing you said you wanted, you can't afford. Yeah. It's like when I went to buy my Rolex, I wasn't like, oh, I wonder how much this is going to cost me. And to go through and show me how well made the watch is, I was like, oh, I've configured my Rolex and I need to go and buy it now because I know how much it is, right? It just doesn't make sense. It's like the only industry in the world where this happens, as far as I can see. You don't, it's just a nonsense. But it's been made by people who want to get people, in the old days, everyone would get everyone on a call and then not let them off the call until he went and got a credit card or go and borrow some money, and that's why it's dying out now, because it's not the appropriate way to work. In my opinion, other opinions are available.
Of course, there's no one way to do something.
There is no one way to do something, and it's working for you. Fantastic. I've never met somebody who says I love going on discovery calls.
Yeah, I don't love them either.
I don't love them. And when coaches say to me, oh no, I do them and they're great, I'm like, but do you love going on them? Oh no, I don't like going on them. It's because people don't like going on them. People will if they're really motivated and they want to buy what you've sold them so far, but you're always going to have that difficult conversation where it can be really leave a bad taste in the mouth for involved. So better to get that the money. Like, I love money. I love talking about money. I love talking about how much I make, how much I spend, how much I earn. I love it. And my programs are all completely transparent on the pricing because I don't want to have those conversations, right?
Yeah. Yes, plenty of food for thought for all of us.
Yeah, and it's the brave move, right? It's the pro move to put your prices up, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, plenty of stuff to think about, I would say. Yeah.
I think that is on that. I think that's part of the success of the £99 thing is everyone knows how much it is, right?
Yes.
There's no, it is what it is. It is what it says on the tin. So it's easy for people to, can I afford that? Yes or no? Do I want that thing enough to pay for it? Yes or no? And they have this. I've never struggled to sell a £99 thing, put it that way. I've never had a long conversation back and two about whether it's the right fit. People are like, they either want it or they don't.
Yeah. Helen, this has been such a great conversation. But before we let you go, why don't you tell us how can people work with you?
Well, it depends where people are at, right? So people are just like, she seems all right, let me just find out some more. We've got a business building festival. It's coming up in October, middle of October. So this will be going out before then, will it? Well, obviously for the live people, it's going out right now. So that is I bet Holly knows all these. 13th, 14th and 15th is the business building festival. So that's for people who just want to hang out with me for a few days, find out all about this stuff I've talked about today, but in more depth, obviously. And we do loads of live Q&A and hangouts and things like that. So people can just really either scale their business or grow their business or whatever stage they're at. There's some in there for starting the business, but I know all you guys already have your businesses lined up. But can really help with a refresher. So that's coming up. So then the business mastermind is open for enrollment. It's like I've said a million times, it's 10 grand, 5 grand up front, 5 grand when you make it back. We take half the risk and the half the responsibility if you're getting the results, and that's for scaling and growing your business. And of course, LinkedIn, if you want to learn how to generate leads from LinkedIn, the LinkedIn mastermind is there for you. Again, split, so £1,500 up front and then £1 grand back when you make it. So all of my programs are split in some way. There's always an investment up front and then it'll spread over the first 12 months and then a return on that investment for us once you've got it. So follow us on Facebook, follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Instagram, and you'll see all of this stuff unfolding before your very eyes.
Wonderful. Yeah. Plenty of options for everyone depending on where they are at.
Yeah, absolutely. And for the £99 thing specifically, Holly's put the link in. That's £99 for a month in the support group and all the training. So I would say that is a no-brainer if you are thinking about having your own £99 thing.
Yes. And I can see Holly is dropping the rest of the links, so that's amazing.
The queen of links, Holly.
The queen of links, yeah. Helen, before we let you go, what is one big message you want to share with the audience today?
Be a specialist, not a generalist. Put your prices out there publicly and just really embrace the fun and the enjoyment and all of the good things that business brings to you, basically. Business isn't hard work. It can be fun, easy, enjoyable and profitable. So enjoy it.
Yeah, I totally hear that. If it is not fun, why do it?
Yeah.
Helen, thank you so much for today. It's been a delightful conversation.
Thank you very much for having me. Lots of love, and I'll hopefully see some of you soon.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bye.